Did you know that there was a time when there was no such thing as a hospital? I know that's very hard for many of you to conceive. There was a time, however, when if you've gotten sick, you either healed yourself or you seeked out your tribal herbalist who healed you with the herbs that grew naturally in nature. Getting sick was not very common amongst us indigenous people, for back then, we knew how to take care of our minds and our bodies. We are now approaching a time when you all will need this information and strength necessary that will help you to heal yourself once again. And the primary reason is because you won't be able to go to the hospital anymore. And not because they won't accept you. The problem is you won't trust them. Just look around. It's already happening. Many people have been injected with vaccinations and ended up ill or died shortly after. People are being injected with microchips and given tainted blood intentionally. You go to the hospital with a little headache and you come out with a brain aneurysm. It is so important in this day and time that you learn the principles on health. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. Let us not forget that the medical industry was never a benefit to us, for it was always based on money and control and never to heal. Have you ever wondered why they call it a medical practice or general practitioners? Well, because they are literally practicing on you. You'll find if you go into different Caribbean islands or into African villages, they have what is called a witch doctor, a term that the settlers gave to these medicine men of the village in order to put in your mind that they were demon worshippers or sorcerers, when this was not the case. For the word witch doctor simply means a wise teacher. What happened was organizations like the Red Cross, which is the Catholic Christian movement, when going into native lands had to first dethrone the village herbalists or holistic healers who knew about the herbs and their cures, which really made them botanists. In order to control the village and the chief, these Christians produced what appeared to be miracle cures, which are really chemicals that only relieve the symptoms. These chemicals are then stored in your body and can hardly be eliminated. So in reality, it has nothing to do with solving the problem and only can make things worse. They then set up facilities we now call hospitals, which was named after their military called the Knights Hospitallers. This was done with the pretense that they had the power to heal greater than the village herbalists and their ancient customs. So, like today, they admitted many of the gullible into these hospitals, which come from the Old French hospital, meaning a shelter for the needy, a guest house, which came from the Latin hospitalis, meaning a host or guest, which, by the way, has nothing to do with a cure. Now, since they brought this capitalistic medical industry into our lands, they had to make up laws that go against the natural rules of nature in order to own the medicine to make profit. For instance, natural occurring products in nature are not patentable, and their courts that they illegally set up on our lands have ruled that not even the person who was thought to first discover it cannot have a patent on it, for it existed before their discovery. And to allow such a patent would also allow the discoverer to control the making of the products, even though it grew naturally. I said all this to say that most medicines prescribed by modern physicians have natural ingredients in them. However, in order to patent and distribute it in their pharmacies, which actually means sorcerer, healing, or poisonous potions, they had to add poisonous chemicals in order to legally own it, in which they would claim that too much of this poison can harm the body. But the very small portions in the amount they prescribe to you is perfectly fine. But the fact is, any amount of poison put in the body is not good, whether it's mental or physical consumption. Your physical body can take quite a bit of abuse before giving any signs of protest. The medicine accumulation, along with the impure food intakes that is eaten in abundance each year, combines with each other to literally poison your body. And the effects may not be felt for many years. Now, this does not mean that there's no need for modern medicine, yet the herbs of your choice are always better. We must broaden our scope, for too often modern doctors are considered to have some form of absolute knowledge. Too often frequent visits to the local general practitioners are substituted for living a healthy life. Your health is very important. The word health begins with the word heal. To heal oneself is step one, but to heal one's mind will heal one's whole body. So you must nourish your body as well as your mind. Most of the diseases of the mind and body can be eliminated by following some basic points, such as proper exercise, proper breathing, proper relaxation, proper diet with much water, and positive thinking, prayer, and meditation. Now, to heal thyself, you must learn how to concentrate. I cannot stress this enough. To concentrate is to focus and direct your mind towards a common center. And I'm not going to lie to you, for this is not easily achieved. And yet, it is a very important principle that you should practice and try your best to master. There's a healing power and energy into which each of you can tap if only you knew it was available. Many, however, are unaware of this resource or they have misconceptions of it. This energy is called the green light. The green light has a wavelength of 550 nanometers. It is an energy that all mystic schools of thought identify with. The green light represents healing, vitality, and growth, but by way of two other colors, which are yellow and blue, symbolic of the blue waters and the yellow sun, giving birth to the green grass. There's a healing in the grass, and some animals that get sick in a while eat the grass to heal themselves. Humans stopped going to the earth for healing and began taking white pills and wonder why they are still sick today. The green light represents the healing of the body. It is the great healing force which operates under the direction of the subconscious mind. It is available to everyone. It is the life force which, if properly directed, could keep perfect every physical form. The secret is to understand how to direct this life force to release tension within and to stimulate its vibration to bring all the cells of your body into harmony. This is done by way of meditation and visualization of the presence of the green light and affirmation of the powers of its presence and stimulating it through focalizing your thought force. That is, utilizing your mind power to envision the green light surrounding your body, for it acts like a magnet stimulated within, swirling from the sea of ether around you. This sweeping current of green light is awaiting to be drawn into your life force. You only need to connect yourself with the current. Now, to make things more practical, let's talk about your vision. Most people don't realize that when you look at something, you don't really see it. Your brain actually does. What you're doing, however, is taking a picture of the object or person by way of photons that come into your cornea, through the iris, then your pupil, through your convex lens, which bends the photons, turning the image upside down. The photons then hit the retina that has tiny photoreceptors, which are memory centers for color, shape, and form, of which you have millions of wavelengths called rods and cones. These then send the electrical impulse image to your optic nerve, which then hit the occipital lobe and back of the brain, which turns the image right side up, and like a laser light produce a three-dimensional holographic picture of the object that is reflected outward. Everything that you think you see is really a vibration or an electrical impulse image of it in your mind, projected outward, just like your thoughts. And your brain cannot tell the difference between a thought contemplated and an image seen outward because they're the same thing, a mere electrical impulse. With that having been said, anything that goes into the subconscious mind, like the image of the green light, is stored there. So once you learn how to use meditation for concentration so that you can develop the powers to pull out the subconscious mind through discipline to get what you want, and in this case, you want to learn how to heal yourself by way of the healing force called the green light. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you name anything that your brain can see, yet your eyes cannot? The only possible answer is your thoughts, which is everything. For our world is the materialization of the thought forms of a divine intelligence. I'm Kev Frey, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Facts be stated, you wanna know something, go back to basics. Mozart trapping was called the Matrix, the world civilized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it.